How many times have you heard someone say, I don't have time for that? Or perhaps how many times have you said it to yourself? But here's the thing, when something is truly important to us, we tend to find the time. Think about it. You always have time perhaps for your favourite TV show or to scroll through social media. So today we're going to explore why we think we never have enough time, first of all, and learn some techniques to create more time in our lives for the things that matter most to us. And I'll also share a bonus tip at the end of the video. So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, the belief that we don't have enough time. This is what I call the time illusion. You see, we all have the same 1,440 minutes in a day, or 24 hours in a day, or 168 hours in a week. Time is a constant. So why does it feel like some people seem to have more time than others? The truth is, it's not about having more time. It's about how we use the time we have. You see, when we say I don't have enough time, what we're really saying is that this isn't a priority for me right now. And that's perfectly okay. Not everything can be a top priority. But it's important to be honest with ourselves about this. Really is important. So let's just do a quick exercise. Think about something that you've been putting off for a while because you don't have the time. Now imagine I offered you $1 million to complete that task in the next week. Would you find the time then? I bet you would. You see, this illustrates that when something becomes important enough to us, we usually can find time and a way to make time for it. And this brings us to what I call the priority principle. Simply put, we take time out for our priorities. So if health is a priority, we find time to exercise. If family is a priority, we make time for family dinners or day trips or weekends away. The key is to align our use of time with our true priorities. You see, this often requires us to say no to things that aren't aligned with our goals, dreams and values. It's not always easy, but it is necessary if you want to create time for what truly matters to you. So how do we put this into practice? So first of all, start by listing your top 5 priorities in life. And then ask yourself, are you spending most of your time on activities that align with these principles and these priorities? If not, it's time to make some changes. So let's dive into 3 powerful techniques you can use to create more time in your life. The time audit technique involves tracking every minute of your day for a week. Now I know that might sound laborious, but bear with me. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet or a time tracking app to record what you're doing in 15-minute increments. Now at the end of the week, analyse where your time is going. So here's how to conduct it effectively. The first part is be honest and detailed. Don't just write working for 8 hours, break it down into specific tasks. Include everything, even time spent scrolling on your phone or watching TV. At the end of the week, categorise your activities. So for example, it might be work, sleep, personal care, leisure, family time, etc. Then calculate how much time you spend in each category. You might be surprised by what you find. Many people discover they spend hours each week on activities they don't even enjoy or value. For instance, you might find that you're spending 2 hours a day on social media without even realising it. You see, once you have this data, you can start to make informed decisions about how to reallocate your time. Maybe you'll decide to cut your social media time in half and use that hour for exercise or a hobby that perhaps you've been neglecting. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all leisure time. That's not the goal here. It's to ensure you're using your time in a way that aligns with your priorities and brings you satisfaction. Then we come on to technique number 2, the Eisenhower matrix. This is named after President Eisenhower, but this technique helps you prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. Now, some of you may also recognize it from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. So in essence, what you do is you draw a square and divide it into 4 quadrants. So quadrant 1 is urgent and important. Do these tasks immediately. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. This is where we schedule those tasks. Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important. Delegate these tasks if at all possible. And quadrant 4 is neither urgent nor important. So this is where we want to try and eliminate these tasks. So let's break this down with some examples. So in quadrant 1, tasks might include responding to a work crisis or a business crisis, or taking care of a sick child, or meeting an impending deadline. These need your immediate attention. Quadrant 2 tasks are where the magic happens. These are things like long-term planning, preventative maintenance, relationship building, and personal development. They're crucial for long-term success and satisfaction, but they're easy to neglect because they're not deemed as urgent. Quadrant 3 tasks might be responding to certain emails, attending some meetings, or perhaps addressing interruptions, so those time bandits. So these tasks can feel urgent, but they're often not that important. So try to minimize or delegate these where we can. And then quadrant 4 tasks are the time wasters. This might be endless TV watching, or gossiping, or scrolling through social media. Now remember, we all need some downtime, but be mindful how much your time you're spending in quadrant 4. You see, the key is to spend as much time as possible in quadrant 2. This is where you'll find the activities that truly move the needle in your life and create a sense of fulfillment. So try categorizing your to-do list using this matrix. You might find that tasks that you thought were urgent can actually wait, and that then means that you're freeing up time for more important activities. And then we come on to technique number 3, the power hour. This technique involves dedicating 1 hour each day to your most important task. So what we do is we choose a time when you're typically at your most productive. For some, this is early in the morning. For others, it's in the evening or late at night. Whatever works for you is great. So during this hour, focus solely on your chosen task with no distractions. And here's how you make the most of your power hour. Choose the task the day before. This allows you to hit the ground running. Pick a consistent time where you can each day for your power hour. This helps to build a habit. And then eliminate all distractions. So in other words, turn off your phones or your notifications, close unnecessary browser tabs, and let others know that you're not to be disturbed for the next hour. Then I like to use the Pomodoro technique within the power hour, which is 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break, then another 25 minutes of work and another 5-minute break. Keep a power hour journal. Note that what you've accomplished and how you felt afterward. The power hour can be transformative. Imagine making progress on your most important goal every single day. You see, over time, this consistent effort can lead to remarkable results. For example, if you're writing a book, your power hour might be totally dedicated to writing 500 words. If you're learning a language, it might be spent on intensive study or practice. If you're building a business, it could be time spent on strategic planning or client outreach. Remember, the key to the power hour is consistency. It's better to do it every day, even if some days are a little less productive, than to skip a day entirely. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in just 1 focused hour a day. So these 3 techniques, the time audit, the Eisenhower matrix, and the power hour, can help you reclaim your time and focus on what truly matters to you. So now that we've covered these techniques, let's talk about how to actually implement them. The key here is to start small. Choose one technique and try it for a week. See how it impacts your levels of productivity and your sense of having enough time. Now, once you're comfortable with one technique, add another. So let's not go all 3 at once. We keep adding. Remember, the goal isn't to fill every minute of every day with productive activities. It's to create more time for what truly matters to you, whether that's pursuing a passion project, whether it's spending time with loved ones, or simply having some quiet time for yourself, some self-care time. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, here is the bonus technique, and this is the mystery hour. I love to call it the mystery hour. When we step into this mystery hour, this adds a little bit of excitement and self-discovery to your time management. Now, the reason I call the mystery hour is because that's exactly what it is. So here's how it works. Block out 1 hour in your calendar anywhere in the week, absolutely anywhere, and label it mystery hour, okay? Then on small pieces of paper, write down activities or projects that are most important to you. These could be things that you enjoy, it could be tasks that you've been putting off, or the goals that you want to achieve. But what we're doing here is putting all those things onto individual pieces of paper and then put all those notes in a jar. On the morning of your scheduled mystery hour, randomly select one activity from the jar, and this will be your focus for that hour. Now, this technique does two important things. Firstly, it adds a level of spontaneity to your week, if you like. In our often over-scheduled lives, having an hour dedicated to surprise can be refreshing and energizing. And secondly, and perhaps more importantly in my opinion, it serves as a kind of intuition test. So as you reach into that jar, pay attention to what you're hoping to pull out. Pay attention to almost what are you secretly wishing for. You see, this can be incredibly revealing about what you truly want to be spending your time on. The reality is sometimes we get so caught up in what we think we should be doing that we lose touch with what we'd love to be doing. This technique helps to bridge that gap. So if you find yourself consistently hoping for a particular activity, it's a clear sign that you should be scheduling more time for it in your regular routine. This is a powerful way to align our time management with our true desires and passions. So give the mystery hour a try. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and how you really want to spend your time doing something else. So to wrap up, remember, time is a finite resource, but it's also a choice. We have the power to create time for what's truly important to us. It's not about finding more hours in the day, but about using the hours that we have more intentionally. So I challenge you to try one of these techniques this week, including your bonus mystery hour. So in the comments, let me know which one of the techniques that you're going to try, and also what you hope to achieve with your newly created time. Or if you try the mystery hour, share what you discovered about your true time priorities. And remember, you do have the time. Make it count. And don't forget to listen to your intuition along the way. Sometimes the best use of our time is doing what we love, not just what we think we should do. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on personal development and achieving your goals and dreams. Also, do feel free to share the channel with others who you think it would benefit. Here's to you spending more time doing what you'd love.